standing and sitting pose demonstrations for guys. So we're gonna kind of just do a quick run through. Joe, you're gonna operate my camera and just kind of, we're gonna go through and pop off a couple quick shots. Why don't you bring me a chair, Shiv? And you can just place it on the side of the set since I am not allowed to step off this white space. By the way, who's cleaning the floor later? You. Not cool. Thanks, buddy. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with that basic shot. Let's go ahead and just open up the stance a little bit. What I'd love is for you to kind of lean onto this side a little bit, have the hand in the pocket, let this hand hang, open the chest, look directly into the camera. And you guys will notice I'm gonna bring him back a little bit. So let me bring you back right to right here. And Joe, if you can zoom in so we get a nice full-length shot, but that's zoomed in onto him, that'd be fantastic. Let me go ahead and go to our loop view. Okay, we're gonna run through a series of shots. Let me see how this looks. Looks great. Bring your chin a little bit over to this side. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm short lighting, right? So I'm bringing his chin to that side so we get a little bit of a cross, a little bit of Rembrandt light on this side of the cheek. Go ahead and pop. Pop it. Pop it like it's hot. Or another dad joke that isn't very funny. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And then all we're going to do is I'm going to make some small little adjustments here. So Joe, why don't you go up to, actually let's just do a couple full-length shots. So let's go ahead and look down and towards this side, kind of like right down to the ground on that side, but chin up a little bit and eyes more down. There you go. That should look about right. Joe, go ahead and pop that shot. Pop it. Pop it. Now we're doing something visually with the eyes and the chin, which actually we'll talk about and analyze later on, but you'll notice that between the last shot and this shot, it'll feel like this shot is more of a portrait, this shot is more of a fashion image. It's focused on his clothing, right? We're gonna talk about why it feels that way in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and bring your hands up like you're fixing the tie. Look down into that left side, kind of like you're fixing. Go ahead and take the shot. Yep. Me likey. Perfect. Now go ahead and just kind of like looking kind of slightly down towards what you're doing. Bring the hands back up and look down towards it.
All right.
Perfect. Joe, why don't you raise the camera? There you go. And what we're going to do, Brandon, now is you're going to take a small step back, okay? And all we're going to do is I want that hand to be in your pocket. You're going to rock forward, and we can just rock back and forward like this because I want to show you like kind of in step. So I want you to kind of rock forward and look down to the left and kind of laugh as you're about to drop onto the next foot. Go ahead and do a full-length shot of that.
1, 2, 3.
So awkward. 1, 2, 1. Nope, nope. Perfect.
It's a great smile.
It's perfect. Okay, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Why did the hands, I mean, in this shot, the hands were up. It makes sense, right? Why did the hands make sense there? He's doing something with them. Now, do this. Bring the hands up to the thigh, and now let's go to a tighter focal length. So can you go from thigh to top of the head? I love how challenging this is. And then let's raise the tripod up too so you can get it to like his head height, basically.
Thank you, assistant.
Yep, no problem. Yep. How many people does it take to open up 3 tripod legs? If you think.
Hey. Action.
Okay. This should feel a little bit odd. Why? Why? Okay, so why is it fake? You said the action doesn't match the expression. You said the eyes, he's looking at the camera. Yep. The eyes are basically taking us, he's looking into the camera for a portrait, and yet his hands are doing something, right? Which, you know, this wouldn't be a bad thing if this were a celebrity. And Brandon, if you're a celebrity, and sorry, you're not a celebrity. You are now, buddy. You are now. About 200 people around the world know who you are now, roughly, give or take. But if this were a celebrity shot, it'd be okay, right? Kind of like this, like, you know, shot of like it's a portrait of him. But if we were intending this to be a natural photograph of a groomsman, we missed the boat. Because he's looking into the camera. But as soon as we go, Brandon, do the exact same thing. Bring the eyes back down to the hands. There you go, chin up a little bit, right there, perfect. All right, now here, the chin came down too much, right? So all we're gonna do is just make a small adjustment. So do that again, bring the hands up, okay? Bring the chin over to this side. There you go, chin up a little bit. Now bring the eyes down to the hands, and then bring the chin back a little bit this way. There you go. Now kind of look down as if you're fixing the tie. Chin up a little bit while you're doing it. There you go, right there, brother. Pop that. Okay, so this is actually what it looks like when you're tying your tie, but what I want to do is make a slightly better looking version of that, where his chin is turned slightly, chin is up a little bit. It doesn't look as if he's, you know, doing this thing buried up in his tie business. Okay, so again, we can vary those focal lengths. So with this tighter angle, let's go ahead and put the hand in the left pocket. Let's go ahead and bring the chin over to the light. Look right into the camera. I want to show you guys something important with these crops. There's a reason why I'm telling Joe to crop right here at the thigh. You guys see that reason? Completes the hand, doesn't break the line, and also we need to show the gap in his pants. So don't show the gap in his pants. Crop right at, you know, yeah, his crotchal region. Crotchal region. It's going to feel awkward for a couple different reasons. One, it's going to look like he doesn't have two legs anymore. It's going to look like he has a single leg. Let me move the bar. Okay, do you see how he lost his legs? We also cropped at the joints on the fingers. That's not good, but we want to make sure that we can see the spacing between the legs. Okay, so we can go the same thing. We can do whatever we want. We can follow all those rules to get the different shots. We can bring his hands up. He can be tying a tie. He can be fixing the cufflinks. He can be doing anything that we want him to do. We can also follow the exact same rules and put him down sitting. And keep your angle where it's at right now. Go ahead and have a seat. Okay. Now, let's do the exact same things that we did. Hold on 1 second. Let me stand you up, and let me move you back a little bit and sit down right there. I want you to slouch. I want you to keep your feet pointed in. There you go. And then let's go ahead and back up the camera and do a full-length shot. And let's diminish him even more by making it a top-down shot, but full length.
One, two, three.
Don't talk to me while I'm pooping.
Right?
Look at it, buddy.
Dude, this is so good. Okay, let's follow the same rules. Toes, shoulder width apart, toes out. There you go. I want one leg to be slightly forward past the other one. There you go. I want you to straighten the spine, okay, and then lean forward a little bit onto the one side. There you go. Perfect. Hands are great. Let me see what this looks like from right here. It's great. Bring the chin down to the side, eyes up to the camera. There you go. Now go ahead and pop that shot.
Pop it.
Didn't we not just do the exact same thing sitting versus standing, and it still translated completely? Okay.
Like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What if they have really short legs? How do you compensate for that? Do you shoot like really low?
So remember we talked about the angles earlier? So she asked, what if they had really short legs? Jen asked if they have really short eggs. Eggs? In that case, they shouldn't have babies. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so basically all we would do, and the only issue with this shot, guys, by the way, right now, is that he's got a tie for a loincloth. I just want to point that out. We would need to fix that before we'd actually run with that. So it's actually pretty simple to fix. If he opens his jacket, there you go, and then lean forward onto the hand again, there you go. And then the tie can actually hang a little bit forward now. And now when he brings There you go. Bring this other hand down and lean into this. And if you were to take that same shot again, it would look very different. It's not going to look like a loincloth. Or you can bring the hands in a closed position where it actually like covers up the tie. That works too. So let's go ahead and bring the camera angle down now. So let's bring it back down to about his chest height. Okay. See how his feet naturally pointed straight forward again? We kind of lost some of the strength in that. It's a very easy thing to let your feet like kind of go back to these things. So you have to constantly watch for it, be vigilant. Lower even more. Let's keep going. Give Brandon a round for being our model. Take a bow. Take a seated bow. Wonderful.
Looks even better standing when you do that.
Right? It's my thing. Note to self, buy a tripod that moves quicker.
Take
Or-
care of your equipment.
It is a little sandy, I'll be honest. Okay, so you asked Jen, what do you do when his legs are a little bit shorter? All we're doing is lowering the angle. Now with a lowered angle, his legs are going to appear more, you'll have a stronger presence. So we started at a higher angle so you could see how his presence is going to change. Because now what you're going to do, brother, is, Joe, you could just, by the way, take it off the tripod. You know, I mean, just like pro tip. Take it off the tripod. Okay, so one leg forward. There you go. Open up the feet a little bit. Point them out. There you go. Straighten the back. Take a breath in. Okay. Perfect. Bring the chin down to the side. Look right into the camera. There you go. Go ahead and grab that.
1, 2.
Okay, so the height of the previous shot is going to diminish him. The angle of the second shot is going to strengthen him. Go ahead and smile again so we don't have, that like hard-ass look. I don't want that look. I want the same, look at the smile. Look at your smile before, man. You look beautiful. Look at this. Look at that. There you go. There you go. Give him the smile. There we go. Okay, so if we were to compare these two, you'll see right away that taking a lower angle, isn't going to increase his presence. Do you see it right here?
Another question.
Uh-huh.
What if they're a little bit larger?
So Jen asked, what if the subject is a little bit larger? Okay, so at that point, you have to start determining, like, it's the same set of rules that apply. You want to short light them. You want to do things, but if they're larger, it can actually be a good thing to have them be sitting. And the reason why is because as Brandon is sitting and he's leaning forward and you're doing these different types of shots, you can crop in on the face, you can crop in tight, you can crop wide, and then his arms can actually conceal the tummy and those things that they might be self-conscious about, right? But approach it the exact same way and simply be mindful of it as you're shooting. But do you guys agree that, like, stature-wise, does he not feel more masculine in this shot? Joe, are you able to get down to the ground and get a little bit closer, like maybe right here, and have him dominate the frame, just so that we can get an example of that? Do the same kind of, actually, for this one, just so we have kind of that expression that matches the look, I want you to kind of gaze down on him with no expression. Bring the chin over to this side. There you go.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2.
Okay. Is he not getting a stronger look the lower the angle goes? Like he's basically looking down onto that camera. So you can continue to exaggerate that as much as you want with a wider focal length, a lower angle, to whatever extent that you need to get the shot that you want, okay? Okay. Stand up for 1 second, brother. I'm going to show you how the same everything applies even if you flip things around. So have a seat now, straddle the chair. Okay, now naturally, what would you do with your hands?
Rest them on.
Exactly, right? So naturally, he would just rest his hands anyway or find a place to rest his hands. So it's going to be totally fine even though his hands are up. So go ahead and look into the camera and take that shot.
1, 2.
Okay. Does everything not still apply? Like, I mean, literally all the things that we talked about, his hands are either posed or at rest. They still apply right here. They're posed or at rest. The tie loincloth? Yeah, there's not too much you can do about it. He could try buttoning his jacket, and he could try to conceal it, but it's going to hang straight down. Yeah, it's going to look odd because it's not hanging straight anymore. So it's kind of one of those things where if you want to avoid that, what you could do is stand up for 1 sec. Okay. You could have him sit more like this, where he's just going to go like that. So back to this, but do that real quick. And I want to show you how all the same rules apply even when you're sitting in a different position. So slouch, okay, feet pointed in, okay, hands, there you go, perfect, looking at the camera. Smile on your face. It helps, guys. It helps seeing Brandon as a little boy. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now watch this. So now I want you to lean your back onto this side. Put your arm up onto this. There you go. Bring one leg up like it's propped up, like this. There you go. Put one hand down. Perfect. Let's open up the jacket so you don't get that fold. Okay, I want you to sit up tall, expand the chest. Okay, there you go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the chair just a little bit. So let me see, angle-wise, you want it turn more or do you want it like this? Like that? Yeah. Okay. And then you're just going to go like this. Okay. Sometimes it's easier, like with this kind of stuff, to demonstrate. But what I'm having you do is just to bring the chest up, do the same thing that you were.
Turn this way more.
Let me just check out the, so we want to still straighten his tie. Okay. Perfect. Bring the chin down to the side. Hang the tie like right in the middle, brother. There we go. Look down to that left side for now.
Don't look at me. 1, 2.
Goodness. Goodness. Okay. Point has been made, right? You guys understand all the rules, whether they're sitting, whether they're standing, same thing applies. Work from the bottom up every time. Everything is based on foundation. Just think foundation throughout this entire process. I'm going to stop doing this with my hands now. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the next video.